Ready for this? You ready for this? Get ready. Popcorn! Listen, I'm really on to something here, and I'm really excited. In fact, like, just out of the blue, like, my appointment this morning that never ever cancels just like opened up. But I haven't been out here for about, what is it now? 14 or 15 months. And basically what happened with Apollo 22 is Apollo 22 had to go back to school. It's kind of bright in here. Feels like I got a shiny nose. But anyways, some of you out there and myself, I don't know if I'm doing this for myself more than I'm doing it for anybody else, but the bottom line is I recorded all those twin flame videos. And in those, because I've been out here, but some of you subscribed and you might find this cool, but it's cool for me anyways to just lay it down. So this is the development. I went through basically a whole year, almost a whole year of cleansing, basically just really defining who I was going to be when I grew up and what this final plan was going to look like, bringing the vibrations, doing some really good meditation, contemplation, a lot of pondering, a lot of studying over the years. So hold on, I gotta go get some. Where's it at? Oh shit! Where'd you go, baby? You gotta be here. Is it already in there? Uh-oh. Maybe it's already in here. Is it in here? I don't see it. All right. Ooh, there I am. What's going on? Shit. Okay, I need this. Hold on. I'm not going to stop the video because I don't have time to stop the video. Find my light book. Siri. La 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 do. Beep bop, beep bop, bop bop. Come on. You ain't never left me. I just looked at you. Where are you? No, shit. Okay, still for a loss here. You're not going to make me stop this video. You're killing me here. Oh, wow. Now, this is what it's all about here, I think. Or do you just want me to go impromptu? I don't want to go impromptu. Damn, looks like the universe is just challenging me. Oh, no. Guess what? Now, this is stupid, right? I do this all the time. I do. I put something someplace, and I just had it. So here's my stage plot book, right? Which has, just different, like, how I'm going to set up stuff. And then inside that, I managed to put my Find Your Light. So how this basically, why I spent this first, 3 minutes kind of revving up, is because, and for those of you that are still counting minutes, we started this video at 10:00:44, right on the nose. But anyway, so I recorded the confirmation video, which basically was me answering questions from my higher consciousness that were streaming through my telepathy with my twin flame. And at the time that I was communicating with my twin flame at this level, it was really a matter of how do we prove this? How do we show the world that this is really real? Because if we can show that it's really real, then nobody has to be alone again. They'll understand the energy flow and the transfer of, themselves into the ethereal realms where they can communicate not only with their highest dreams and their highest ideals and their best life, but we can communicate with our twin flames no matter what situation we're in, and that takes away a lot of loneliness and it cures a lot of things. And I can't say that I didn't have struggles over this last year. I definitely did, especially when I decided to go celibate straight up. My tarot cards basically were beating me in my head. I mean, beating me in my head. They're like, no, dude, listen, stop. And when it finally got to that point, it was like, bam, this person shows up in my life. Now this person, now nobody else got it, but on the cover page, I actually on this, and you go out look at it, it literally says secret thing for my twin flame. And then it has all these code words on it. And the code word was, and she picked it at the time. I did not pick it through telepathy. And it was, what was it? What was it? It was Bird, Paris. Man, salt peanuts, salt peanuts, salt peanuts, doom, doom, salt peanuts, salt peanuts. And I just had listened to that just driving my van. And it was like, you use that code word, and then nobody can mistake it. There ain't a chick in the world that probably knows that, right? And then, for some reason, I put cars in it. And I don't know why I was calling Sharp, because I got a name, but the name that she actually has is supernatural, too, because it actually is the first 4 letters of my last name is actually her name with an additional letter. But when you read it energetically, it sounds like Marilyn Monroe. It sounds like one of those superstar names. I mean, it has the energetic properties of all of that. And I like, okay, so this is the flip. And so she's a singer. And on top of the singing, she's just got this this electric personality. Just what I'm looking for. I mean, just... It's what was destined. If I ever had a dream of a soulmate in my life, and it's surprising, she's older than me, which I was not suspecting. She's already made it, which is in several of the videos that I recorded. I describe her in several of the videos. I come out and say, oh, she's a flaming feminist, and and I say we're going to have a show. I say we're going to be like Desi and Lucy. I mean, these are all things a year, 15 months ago. So anyways, make a long story short, to kind of jump up to where we are. Oh, wow. It was like 10. It's 10, 10, 10 right now. 10, 10, 10. 1, 0. 1, 0, 1, 0. I love that. It's like so much wonderment in this world, in this life. There's so much wonderment. And this is one of them. When you suspect, in fact, I don't suspect, I know. There's no other explanation. So to bring you guys up to date, you remember I was referencing my wife, how she had abruptly moved out for no reason. I mean, we got along. We just knew that it was over. But I said that it's like my twin flame or my big mama, right? And she's got a Mama Grace in her life that carries the energy like my big mama or whoever that was sitting next to Patty when you were in Chicago. It's, that energy is my grandma. She got the same skin color and everything. So, and those of you on the outside, I'm going to bring you into this. So I'm trying to bring you up to speed. So anyways, I'm going along in my life in 2022, and I finally, said I'm going to buckle down on my drums. I'm going to stay the course. I had to get a part-time gig just to kind of survive right now, and God blessed me with something that was just amazing, and it's amazing. So anyways, I'm going through last year, I get my secret garden. I'm alone a lot. And so I love to meditate in the sunshine. I go out and I basically strip naked and I lay out there. I mean, I just want to go. I kind of put towels on me because I got neighbors that can kind of see, but not really because my backyard is really long. And I just fill up with as much as that, and then I would go and just take on the day. And by the end of the year, it was getting weary, and I never looked at these videos again, and until it was weird. And I'm gonna say that I went out there, I want to say in maybe a month or two ago, and I hit this plenty of fish, right? And, you know, I had been on that site before, but it had changed for me, man. Now it's like, ugh. The energy was overwhelming. What I used to be able to tolerate, energy wise, I can't anymore. It's just blown out. I'm so happy. Oh, hey, and look at this. Which one is this? There's my portal. I don't know if you can see it, but it has my Apollo 22 on it. And then it actually has the date 02/22/2022 because that date will never repeat. And it's a portal that opened, and I know it, and I'm in it. And as soon as it opened, things immediately started to change for me. And so that, I guess that's where we're leading up to. Like, so last year was a growth. I separated from the Galactic Federation. Now I rep the Confederation of Planets, and the collective is really where it's at. The collective is, we're working all together. There's no delineations, but I did figure out that my home collective and planets related to Lyra, and some of the other places that I know that I hail from, was part of the original Confederation of Planets, and they made themselves. That's where the Bible talks about when the gods actually walked among men. That was under Imhotep in Egypt, where they made Ra and the company made themselves known. In their admitted naivete, you know, the stuff started getting crazy. Well, they were walking in Egypt, but they were actually in Atlantis first. And there's some history that me and you share, even with Mexico and the Yucatan Peninsula and the pyramids down there. Um, you don't even know I know that, but I do. Um, and you're also, I'm gonna be bold, baby, but you're you're like me. And I came into this world like a prince, and I'm sure you were the princess. Regardless of what you went through symbolically in your life, that's the way it's been. And for me, it's been very much the same way. Um, I mean, you know, my first crib was in a 5,000 square foot house. You know, I mean, there's a lot of symbology in this life that has to be there in order to connect the dots with your ancient life. If it's not in your purview symbolically inside your purview right now, then it's really just a pipe dream or a hallucination. You have to have that energy with, like, in your current life, and then you understand your parallel lives and how it stacks up with your ancestors and your parents that are living, and your whatever, your kids of, like I have. I know you don't have kids. So I basically got to the point where I couldn't tolerate too much energy. I really became a recluse. I mean, recluse. I mean, I really just hibernated. Got off Facebook altogether because of energy. It's too polarizing. Facebook could start a war anytime they want it to. They have too much control. But I do like, for example, what you're doing, and I will be on again, but it's going to be in my time, in my rhythm, in my space. You know, I don't want anybody imposing their will on me, and with the commercials and the link ups and all this other stuff, that's kind of how I felt. Um, but I needed to cleanse, and I needed to cleanse, and I needed to cleanse. So finally, you know, the divorce was filed. There was a few hiccups, but that's only because I'm trying to do it DIY. And so the paperwork was all signed and everything. So the finale happened some time ago, with that. And I'm chugging along, and I get to springtime. And this spring reminds me of deep love. Spring and fall are probably my two favorite seasons. I love all the seasons. I even like to ski. Um, but you know, when you start thinking about spring and summertime, and I love to go to concerts, and I love to play in the sunshine, stick my feet in the water, and have great conversation and trip amongst the stars and the moons and the cosmos, to pull frequencies in and construct them in ways that people have never heard, that might excite something within a human that makes them explode into a beautiful flower or an amazing avenger for rights, or maybe save somebody's life because you know what it's like to be that far down in your head. I didn't do music like I wanted to do, but I was always an overachiever. Um, right now, you know, I guess you would call me. I don't like to call it poor because in my mind, see, I own everything. This wonderful little house that when I pull in the driveway, it looks like the Taj Mahal. But it really is just a 1940s post-war bungalow. When I look at my garage, I think about how fortunate I am and how my elders and God and my higher self, I mean, how this plan was so divine for both of us. And how I've just managed by faith to be destroyed and pick myself up and be destroyed and pick myself up. And I reach farther every time I get destroyed. When I come back, now my dream is bigger, it's bolder, and now it is. I'm going into my Find Your Light book. And I commissioned this book. I do not share what's in this book, but I am going to read. Where's that at? Oh, it's got to go over here. Okay. Can you see that? With love and light, gratitude, and humble service to our infinite creator, service to self, mankind, and infinite creator again. Intentions. See that? 200222. Rockstar billionaire. Humanitarian. I give away, or we give away, 1/3 of our total wealth, our net earnings. So, I'm going to get into that in a minute, okay? And what are we doing this? To support the liberation for as many minds that have been captured and enslaved, to be the light that brings all of the races together again. We are one, right? And you can see Horus and Set made up and Satan and Jesus made up. And that's a true statement because Revelations 22:16, which is on this arm, the last word Jesus said is, I'm going to send you my angel, and that angel is a morning star, and the morning star is Lucifer. You know, so we're playing out. We were the war between light and dark was literally the war of man. We were left to our own devices. There's a lot of astro stuff there, but I'm a manifester. And I know you watch those other videos, so you know I've been a millionaire already. I lost it. It's like the universe stripped everything down, and I literally self-initiated. And if I would have had a shaman or a spiritual leader that was trained in the mysteries, man, I would have never been institutionalized because that's what it was all about. They could have guided me right through that stuff. But this is a time where we have to initiate ourselves and understand the responsibility. My dad, who I did not grow up with, was brilliant and also very enlightened and knew we were Egyptian. I have a direct DNA match. Oh, you might want to hear some of this. I have a direct, yeah, because it's like 1022 is my number up there. I have a direct match to Ramses the Third. I believe we were also under Akhenaten. My mom has, between my mom and my dad, I have Illuminati blood. I have Masonry blood. My grandfather was a Mason, but I'm talking about the stuff that went through Ireland, Scotland, and England in particular, because those would have been the garters of those secrets. I have Saint Germain blood in me. I have a lot of these, alchemists and magicians, the esoteric people that led occults and stuff. That blood runs through my veins. And my mom is Madagascar M23. She's all by herself. That's Lumeria. Mu. And then my dad would have been Atlantean. And of course, that's where the first transfer of knowledge happened. And, they blew themselves up. And it needed to be destroyed. Anyways, there's a lot of planetary history, and we go back that far. Okay. So, the update really is, I guess, this is maybe just a video of her. I don't know. Because I'm just talking. And I don't feel compelled to do anything else. But I'm going to try to keep it so that people are watching it, because it's the most fascinating thing in the world. And this is basically, it took me, 15 minutes to say this? I don't know, 21 minutes to get to this point. Often the crux of the apostrophe, if you want to say. But, basically, if this is true, that we have been talking for years through telepathy, even within marriages, and times that we cried out for each other, and moments of desperation, and like I told her in a note last night, the times that I whispered in your ear, what a great performance that was, baby, you did so good. Or, I noticed that. I really noticed that. That was fucking awesome. Or, baby, it's okay, it won't be long. I'll be telling you I love you to your face. And she's ministering to me right along. We have some serious trauma in our past lives. But where we're at now, it's like, woohoo! We have life! Woohoo! We're so grateful! Woohoo! And I can't believe this is fucking happening to me. Right? I mean, that's where I'm at right now. Because ultimately, I never expected you. I never expected you on Facebook. I never expected you to look the way that you did. I never expected even to hear, I had no idea. No fucking clue that you existed. I mean, you really, in an instant, made me question everything I might have fucking known. Right? Because it's like, nah, fuck this, it's her. It's like my grandmother. First day she was in Detroit, she saw my grandfather driving down the street, his 37 Pontiac convertible. And he was kind of a player. And she go, look at that. There goes my husband. And sure as shit, they got married. And we're married for 50 years and happy. Traveled the world, at motorhomes. I mean, he made a great life, and he took care of the family like you wouldn't believe. My grandfather is definitely one of my heroes that way. He worked fucking 3 jobs for a long time to do it, but he did it. He's a World War II vet. I'm very proud of my grandfather. I'm very proud that, he's me. But I totally lost my train of thought. How do you feel about that? How long have we gone? Okay, so I'm going to cap this at, we got 10 minutes, 33 minutes. So what do you want to know? So I was telling the story. So when I went back and looked at the video, there was a movie involved in this. It was called Up All Together Now. And let me describe this night. This is going to be really interesting to you. So it was my birthday, And it had been a long time since, either of us, this is my ex-wife, and had been with anybody, and we're definitely, solo. So, like, leading up to my birthday, it was all about my twin flame. And it just kind of came to me, it was like, okay, well, something's going to happen on my birthday. It's cool. Now, all of a sudden, out of the blue, here comes my ex, and she's got a bottle, and she's got a Hendrix record, and dot, 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 dot. I says, okay, now I'm fucking beyond floored, because it was kind of like, if she's coming over, baby, I want you, what I'm going to do is meet her, not think about you, but treat her as if she was my twin, as if it was you, but it's not you. But to love her essence as her womanhood, just be with her. And I knew by making love to her that way and me that way, that the energies not only communicated to the twin flame and added to us, but the elders get off on it too, because it's like the most powerful alchemic tool that we have, So I was blown away by the night. Literally, not blown away like, hey, you want to stay? Let's reconcile. Fuck no. But we were, it was wild. It was wild, and I knew it was completely influenced by the universe and an energy that was related to my twin flame, because it was actually something, I used to say to myself, it's like, wow, I take so much time to pick out presents and really think about what that person might want or what they might enjoy, because I don't know what they want, but I know them well enough, and not to really be receiving that from the person that you're most intimate with, actually, no, but that you're most intimate with. It's always been a disappointment, right? So I had given up, and then all of a sudden, we're separated. We're not living together. Oh, you like my tattoos? This one, that one says, that's gratium, which is gratitude, because I'm into radical gratitude. And then the feather is actually the feather of Ma'at. So my heart is as light as a feather. And when I went through my NDE, I had to go through atonement. And that's my sigil. Can you see that? So it's got a bunch of, things that are very related to me, magical things. Tesla's numbers are built into it and stuff. And it actually says Amorin Eternus, which is basically love eternally. Love eternally. Radical love is what it's about. So the fact that it's a sigil, it's a magic symbol. And as I beat on my drums, my thing is I want to beat love out eternally. So that every beat that I hit, that's what it represents somehow. These were both my dad's rings. My mom said he tore this one up, and there's a lot of stories there, because my dad suffered from mental illness, and we were separated very early in our lives, and I grew up with an alcoholic stepfather. But when you understand, the higher lives and the frequencies and the vibrations and stuff like that, that you needed everything in your life to be able to be who you are, including all that trauma, because you designed it into your life. And then when you start looking at that, you start going like, wow, man, these people are amazing people. Even my tormentor. Not all of them. There's a lot of bad shit out there. A lot of bad shit. But in my case, as advanced ascendant master, it is that case. Okay, what else we want to talk about? It was supposed to be like an update for the community. It's more like an update for you. What do you want to know, baby? I want this to be as wonderment as possible. And the reason that we're doing this is so that we can tell our story. So we can make a movie about our story. So that we can affect as many people as possible. And then all that money we make, we give a third of it away. We embarrass fucking Oprah. Who the fuck is Oprah? Right? We embarrass these pop stars. But we're not haughty about it. We're just down to earth, black flag wearing t-shirt kind of people. that has a penchant for eyeglasses and fashion and actually high living, you know, high living. I mean, we're gonna do it, and as soon as I heard your voice on a few of these songs, I think I asked you in one of the videos, like, what did I say? How do you feel about Nashville? You got a little twang in your voice. And my goal is to move to Nashville. 3 sides of my family are from down there. I want to go back to the South. I'm kind of scared of it a little bit, but not really. I don't necessarily know if I want to deal with all of the shit that comes with being in pop stardom, but I think our influence within that circle is going to be way greater than any sacrifice. And I think it might be a lot of fun for us at this age. I don't have anything time, and my kids are grown. They're doing great. I'm very proud of my children because they had a rough life too. What else? Wow, this is an intimate video, baby. I've got a yeah, I guess I got a little while longer. I could probably go for another 10 minutes without really freaking out my schedule. And it's the only reason that we have this time this morning is because I had an appointment that actually canceled, a standing appointment every Monday. If we ain't got to talk about nothing else, we ain't got to talk about nothing else. You want to talk about the morning show? Listen, all these, you know, I am not biting on your heels. Remember that saying? Stop biting on my heels. But there's some pretty award-winning book thoughts in there. I don't just think about music. I think about how I can create companies, right? Like the Detroit Peppermint Company or Enlightened Egyptian Masonic Illuminati t-shirts. And I have an artist in mind for that to design them, and he'll get a little royalty, right? Russell Woods wine, which was the crown jewel of the black bourgeoisie in Detroit, which I'm a blue blood. And this is 2022 stuff. Here's a morning show. Show ideas are all in here. Money, access. I mean, and I just keep and this is where I was at, where I was describing the other night. It's just a focus on philosophy of life, not specific times, tribulations, philosophy of nature, of the cosmic plan, an angel. And the way that I see it happening with us is like Desi and Lucy. And, you're all like this on your videos, but I know you got, for me it's gonna be cool, but man, I know you could be stubborn as hell and you could be persistent, and so there's a lot of things, but I actually have to get this out. I believe with my whole heart that we planned this before we got here. We had pre-planning. I've seen it because I had an NDE. I went behind the veil. I know it's there for me. And everybody gets their consciousness. Whatever they believe in, that's what they get when they go to the other side of the veil. But mine is very consistent with other people that have had NDEs, the whole Book of Life thing and the review and being revealed. But I didn't go to the proverbial tree and meet my dad. My dad did meet me there, but for me it was going into a room with basically a translucent sky with all of my potentials and all of the people that are working on my team and my ancestors, and just wonderful. But I had to go through atonement. I had to be born again. And that happened across 3 holidays: Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I was in the hospital. And in that time, I was going through what most people call a dark night of the soul, but I'm so ancient and whatever. I mean, I had to go there. I had to break the sins of the father. So I either was dying and I was never coming back, or I had to fight like hell to get back here. And I did. And I won. I feel great, greater than I ever have. But I had to go through it to understand these other dimensions. And now it's down to the point, it's like, we should just have fun, right? And live life to our greatest potential. And that is our service, right? And I'm dying to pop. So when you come in, it's like, you're all accomplished, but I know I was born to do this, and it's only going to take you listening to me for, and kind of, let's play this out. And I guarantee we'll have a fucking hit record within a year. We'll have a hit record within a year, if not fucking sooner. As soon as you started singing, I could see it. I could see the fucking stage. I could see me. I could see the band. I could see a lot of other people singing our songs, publishing, royalties, and philanthropy. And I mean, when I say we give, oh no, it's not here's a few million for your instruments. Here's 10 million and I want a new fucking auditorium built. And you got to match the funds, or real mental health centers that help the youth, that grow up in toxic environments, grow up in very, racial trauma is a real thing, especially, this is a good one, racial trauma, and related to like me growing up in the all white suburbs. So anybody that had different color skin was subject to some really extreme nasty shit, and they were calling me nigger in the first grade, and spear chucker and tar baby, and I was literally that baby in that Kinsey experiment or whatever, where they asked the kids which one's better and which one's naughty, and the black kid was naughty, and my mom said, I mean, out here there were people that were moving out of the district because of me. This is Livonia, 1973. And I managed to get to Canton. It was a much better experience for me in Plymouth, Canton, but it was still traumatic. So I want to address that. I want to address kids that have to live in a toxic environment like Detroit or Philadelphia or East St. Louis or some of the parts of LA or even Oakland, right? Oakland's got its side. But instead of going in and make a donation, no, I want to build a mental health center. I want to fucking staff it with people that actually fucking understand PTSD in urban children. And, I mean, fund it. Start vocational schools, I want to travel the world. I want to travel the world with a band on a big tour. I want to do the pop shit during the day, right? So, there's the gig that opens at 8 or 9, and not in the 8 or 9, right, goes hot. But then after the big stage, right, the big arena, then all of a sudden in some little quiet, like loungy nightclub, like in Sweden or Denmark, something down the stairs and hidden, here's a trio that's playing, like, I don't know, I haven't figured out if it's going to be like progressive rock, progressive jazz. I'm not a traditional jazz drummer, so I don't know where that's going to be, but it's something heavy. I'm thinking maybe like a Jill Scott or something in the new funk kind of neo soul kind of thing, but with an organ, a bass, a really cool, more like a Kenny Burrell kind of guitar, not necessarily West, definitely Kenny Burrell kind of sound, and then somebody like you on vocals, and then on the big stage, you're Pat Benatar or Shania Twain. I mean, so we don't have to lose that. And I'm Apollo 22. And on the big stage, it's all about is touching as many lives as we possibly can. So it's got to be millions. And then it's going to be Farm Aid and Live Aid. And it's going to be packing out fucking auditoriums. I have the capacity to know that that's my destiny. And there's no other destiny for me. The only other destiny is probably to toil away in a garden or be in my garage, hunched over on Social Security, just waiting to die. And that ain't me, man. I'd rather just have somebody put a cap in my head right now, honestly, than not try to attempt this. And I may listen, there was a time I was a millionaire when I crashed from that. I had to buy a used travel trailer, $1,500, right? I had a shoebox full of money. And I lived on that money until I got my next gig. And within, I think, 8 months, I bought the house that I'm living in now for cash. So, but doing, it was project management. I didn't do anything illegal. I never have that way. So, the big business, I wrote the business plan. I raised millions of dollars for that business. And if you ever come here, there's a whole wall outside here of my accolades, including the ACLU plaque that I got for suing the city of Detroit for illegal tax foreclosure. Something that, like a Abby Lincoln would be really proud of me about. Right? And by the way, send me my Abby Lincoln thing. I think it's 10:44:30. I think we're at how long? Yeah, we're going to end this. So you got it. Here we come. 10:44:44:42:43:44. Bye.